while Xiaolin Chen is the head of international at KraneShares. Thank you very much indeed for joining us back on the programme. So we saw the first annual drop in exports, but an acceleration at the end of last year. What changed and why this sudden turnaround, and is that likely to continue?
This is a great question. Thank you for having me on your program again. I think China is a very interesting point at this juncture. That is, the country is rebalancing. Probably two key things is where to export and what to export. As you mentioned, the new three of the batteries or the smart EVs and renewable energy products are the new three products, and we do expect more of those products along the line with the green will continue to come to light. We'll continue to add it to the exports list. And now is the interesting part is China also rebalancing who to export its products or services to. In the past, it's heavily interacted or engaged with developed market. Now you see the emerging market has exceeded or outpaced the developed market to become the new closest partner to China in terms of the exports. We do expect this trend to continue. Its neighbors in Asia and emerging market will become more important economic partners going forward for China.
Let's talk about consumer prices then. They declined for the third consecutive month. Maybe welcome for individual household budgets, but what kind of risks does deflation pose to the wider economy, especially amid the slowdown in the property sector?
Like you rightly pointed out, certain lower inflation print is good for the household, but not for prolonged period. So obviously, this is the third month that we see a declining. So it did raise a bit of the concerns or questions to say what caused this decline in inflation. So it is important to understand the non-food CPI actually gone up, which is the encouraging part we'd like to see. That is interactions and more of a domestic than external. What did come down quite dramatically was pork price, for instance. I do expect these kind of components within CPI is seasonal. Now as the Chinese holiday, or Chinese New Year, Chinese New Year is approaching, and some of the associated holiday will come with it, we do expect some of the food price will pick up from forward. See some of the social media posts in China domestically. You see massive millions, if we talk about hundreds of millions, tourism now is hitting northern part of China to see the snows, to see the beautiful ice sculptures happening in China. And now also China relaxed its tourist visa for people to come to China. We do expect the movement, touristing, consumer spending to pick up during holiday seasons.
And let's talk about the government's strategy then. The approach to dealing with these economic challenges has been to make more credit available to businesses. Has there been enough of that, and are more measures on that front likely to be necessary to steer the economy back towards a firmer footing?
I give the credit to Chinese policymaker in 2023 in making sufficient liquidity available in the systems. That period end is job done to make sure there's sufficient liquidity. The next phase, which the policymaker together with Chinese corporates face, is taking the credit. So we do see a bit of a soft in credit demand, but understandable. This is January. It feels like the December. I live in London. It's the December month in Western world leads up to Christmas. This is the first of the remaining months before Chinese New Year happens. So you do expect a bit of a credit slowing down. People probably plan the New Year after Chinese New Year in February. That you would expect credit to take up more. Liquidity is sufficient. Demand for credit slightly softer on the softer end. I do hope the New Year's meetings, particularly the MPC and leads up to MPC happening in March, will give more guidance on where to invest. Namely, is it new energy, new infrastructure? I do expect that the Chinese policymakers to give more clear directions and guidance for investments and also for Chinese key agenda to focus in terms of the deploy the liquidity.
We'll certainly be looking out for that closely. Xiaolin Chen from KraneShares, thanks so much for your insights.
Thank you.